part 3 of the Adecco Better Work, Better Life interview series, we're pleased to welcome Ron Kaufman. Ron is the world's leading educator for upgrading customer service and uplifting service culture. He's the author of the best-selling Up Your Service books and the founder of Up Your Service College. Ron helps organizations around the world achieve superior service, increase customer loyalty, build strong partnerships, and create winning service cultures. Ron, it's great to have you here with us today, and thanks for taking the time.
Pleasure to be with you.
Now, we've been talking a lot recently about times of challenge and change in
like
the
right
media.
now.
Right now. How important is it in these times for companies to offer great service?
Well, in a tough economic environment like right now, people spend more time considering where they're going to spend the money that they do spend. So
Right.
they're not only looking for a good price and a good product, they want to be sure that the whole experience of obtaining that product, getting value from that product, getting support after purchase of a product, that all of that gives high value as well. So right now is a time to make sure that you're giving your customers better service than they've ever received.
Right.
The other reason it's important during an economic downturn like this is that people reconsider the purchasing decisions that they've made. They think carefully, did I spend money well there? Was that the right company to go to? Would I go back to them again? So in an abundant economic time, well, we just spend and carry on. But now people are considering much more carefully the value they got for the money they spent, not only on the product, but on the service experience as well.
Right. Now, you talk a lot about service culture.
That's right.
And of course, we also know about service training.
Yes.
What's the difference in the two?
Well, first of all, training is something that's been going on for many, many years. And basically what I say is you train someone how to do something.
Right.
We don't actually offer service training, we offer service education. We want people to understand how to think about a customer, how to understand what a customer needs, so that in any different situation, they can apply educational principles about service and know what to do. Education, however, is only a foundational piece. In a large organization, you need people to know what to do, learn,
Right.
but you also need leadership from the top, setting the context so that the whole organization goes in the direction of creating consistently better service. And in between, if you will, between the leadership at the top and the education bringing you the bottom-up good ideas and actions, we have this area called culture building support. And that's what we bring to large organizations, is a combination of all three of those areas to build a superior service culture, not just to train people what to do. To give them service.
Big difference.
Yes.
Let's stay with that leadership piece.
Yes.
We've obviously got the HR team within
Yes.
the organization. What
That's
can
right.
the HR team be doing now to really ensure that service is everything it should be in an organization?
I really think that human resources, learning and development, that whole area of an organization has more responsibility for looking at building a service culture from a big picture standpoint than ever before. It's not enough to just say, well, we have courses on service. HR needs to take responsibility for bringing this issue of culture development to the top leadership of an organization and giving them guidance about what to do.
Right.
So for example, in a service leadership workshop, we teach senior leaders what are 12 core building blocks for building a superior service culture. Now, many of those building blocks, recruitment, orientation, rewards and recognition, internal communications, they're going to impact HR, or HR is going to have a role in the effectiveness of them in any extent. So HR needs to just take a much bigger picture now and realize that the culture of the organization really rests strongly on their shoulders to bring to leadership so that it rests on everyone's shoulders.
Perfect. And it's a far more important function than it was, say, 15, 20 years ago, the
15,
HR
20
function.
years ago, I think it was compensation and benefits and recruitment, and there was training and development, but now it really is creating an organization to be the kind of place that attracts the best people, motivates those people and supports those people to give their best efforts, and retains the best ones over time.
Let's stay with talent again at the
Sure.
moment, because we're also living in times of right-sizing and downsizing.
That's right.
And it's often the employees that are left in the organization that are more concerned about what's going to happen the next week. What can HR be doing to ensure that those people left in the company continue to offer great service and they're not getting too wrapped up in the problems of the world at the moment?
I think people basically need to make a decision of where am I going to put the focus of my attention. If my attention is inward, then I'm concerned about my job and my satisfaction and right? If my focus is external, then the question is always, what can I do to create more value for that person? How can I uplift that person's mood today? What can I do to upgrade the service that I'm providing? How can I help that person get a more valuable experience from working with us? If someone is concerned about their job in today's world, it's going to be much more effective for them to focus on giving value to somebody else who in fact ultimately pays the bill and provides for their salary than worrying internally. So HR needs to keep that conversation present. The customer service is about serving someone else, and that's what will come around and keep you employed.
Right, right. Let's move outside the company now.
Okay.
Let's look at new customer acquisition. It's probably a very easy question for you, but how can great service really help win new customers in a challenging environment like we're in now?
Well, positive word of mouth has always been one of the most strong ways to get a new customer, because somebody saying I had a good experience and I recommend you go there is infinitely more credible and trustworthy than a nice advertisement that's running on television, newspaper, or radio. So earning that positive word of mouth is not something that you can buy. You have to earn it through the actions that your people take and the value that you create for other folks. So if you really want to stand out and increase the number of new customers, one of the best things you can do is take fabulous care of the customers you do have. Then you're in a position to ask them for a recommendation.
Right. Now, it's no hidden secret that bad service can really damage a brand. But in your experience, just how badly can it damage a brand in the long term?
I think in the world of Twitter and blog and Facebook, bad news tends to travel fast. You click on a news channel and what do you see? The headlines are the negative ones. That's what attracts your interest. So given that bad news travels more quickly by some exponential volume compared to the good news, we have to work that much harder to make sure that the good news stories are getting out there. Well, just getting good service isn't good news. It's okay, but getting superior service, now that's newsworthy. Then people want to talk, did you hear what that company did? Or wow, these people went way out of their way for me. Those good stories are the ones that companies should be focusing on creating and putting out there into the world today so that people talk about those.
Perfect, perfect. Now, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our short time together. I have one more question for you, and that's if you had to give everyone watching this short film one piece of learning or advice, what would that be, Ron?
Well, that piece of advice would be that it is the culture of your organization that makes even more lasting impact than the personal actions you take. The actions you take will contribute to the culture, but there are other actions you can take to help build that culture and make it stronger. And that may have to do with how you work with your boss, how you work with your colleagues, how you thank the customers you've got and invite them to come back and share with other people in your organization over time.
Ron, great advice. Great to have you with us.
Nice to be with you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.